part's quiet. So.
All right, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jamieboi1989. I have been running this game for about a year. This is the N64 version of LEGO Racers, runs off the 2001 physics, and the game was made by High Voltage Software. And I'm joined today in commentary by Grill, who is quite an experienced commentator. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jamie. Yes, I'm Grill. I speedrun other LEGO games. I test this version of LEGO Racers, and we'll cut it there, and we'll just get ready to jump right into it.
So
Jamie,
time will start when it goes 3, 2, 1, go. The timer starts when it says go. So, yeah, we will start then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We start. Let's see how this goes.
Yes, this should be enjoyable.
And Redbeard gets a start straight away.
It's okay. It'll just make for a more enjoyable run. So this is LEGO Racers. The first track, Imperial Grand Prix, is pirate-themed LEGO. I'm sure many of us had LEGOs back in the day, or now even. Quite a worldwide phenomenon. And the first thing you're going to notice is there are many different colored bricks that Jamie will be picking up as he drives around the track. We have red bricks, yellow, blue, and green bricks. Those are the various power-ups that you can grab. Similar to Diddy Kong Racing, colored balloons, they do different things. So red are projectiles, yellow are hazards, blue are shields, and green, the most important brick, are speed boosts. And then the other brick you'll notice are white bricks, and those increase the power of the power-up that you have. So right here you'll see he picked up 3 white bricks and a green, and he has this warp speed. And that is the fastest way to travel around the racetrack. We'll want to be grabbing warps as much as we can, but in very specific locations so as not to warp over other important bricks that we need. And just like that, we're already done with the first race. You're going to be seeing this track a few more times because we are doing a 100% glitchless run of LEGO Racers, which is all 7 circuits and all the time races of the tracks.
Yep. I'm glad Broadside didn't shoot me there. I was a little nervous he was about to.
Yeah, the CPUs can be real nasty in this game. RNG that's what makes this game very interesting to run and very frustrating at the same time.
That cannonball.
Solid movement there. So we've moved on to our second track, Dark Forest Dash, which is the Dark Forest LEGO theme, aka Robin Hood, spelled Rob-N Hood, to avoid copyright, at least in the United States. And again, just same as last time, we are warping and we're already on to the second lap.
Yeah, there is something to explain here.
Yeah, so one thing you'll notice coming up here, so Jamie's going to go through the shortcut, grab a white, and then coming down right here, there's this ghost. And we drove right through it because we had our shields up. But that ghost can be real nasty, and if you're not shielded or you're not ready to dodge out of the way, it will pick you up, it will flip you around, it will ruin your day and your whole race. But luckily, Jamie has it timed out. It's on a global cycle, so we don't always know where it is, but if the race goes well, we'll know where it will be, and we won't have to worry about it. Oh my goodness, oh, we got shot, that's okay. Quick backup, back into the white bricks. So there's an example of the CPUs being nasty. Jamie backed up to get the white brick that he dropped, so when you get hit by a projectile, you lose a white brick, it drops on the spot where you were hit. So rather than continuing on, he quickly backed up to grab it and then move forward to get a warp to finish off the track.
If I was unlucky, they would have grabbed the white brick instead, and I would have had to just settle for a downgrade of green boost.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily bad, but obviously isn't as fast. And that actually brings up an important point. The CPUs each have one of 3 paths they can take on a race, and so it's a set path. And so if you know what path they're on, you'll know if they're going to drive through a brick that you around. It's super important to memorize all of the paths, but it is good to know at certain times if they're going to be driving through a brick that you want. And as you see here, we're on track 3, Magma Moon Marathon, which is the Explorians theme. And so what you didn't see before, because I didn't bring it up to you, was there is a panel with 3 colors up here. So it's over there on the right, it's switching colors now, but what Jamie did was he flew through the gates with the same color in the order of the code. And what that did was open up that shortcut that you saw him drive through, the glass door. And that is generally the fastest way to go through a lap. That was an unfortunate grapple there by Robin, but Jamie getting lucky with the shortcut. Oh my goodness. That was very lucky. I don't think he knew the code. The gates he happened to drive through were the code of the next shortcut.
You never know on that free
overall,
now. It's lucky.
Yeah, no, you don't. If you take it lap 2, the code is scrambling as you go into lap 3, and you don't know what it will be. So that was a good guess, and it saved him some time after being denied the warp by Robin Hood. And just like that, we're already on the 4th track of Circuit 1.
Yeah, and you've noticed that I bumped into Redbeard to push him back because he's quite nasty at the start of this track. If you don't slow him down.
And right here, we're going to do this weird turnaround warp, and what you didn't notice is that warped us right into the shortcut. So earlier this year, or last year, I don't know, LEGO Racers discoveries keep happening faster than I can keep up with. Another community member discovered that the warps, the path the warp takes you sometimes will put you into the shortcut without having opened it. Normally you'd have to shoot a projectile at a wall up here, and then that blows open the shortcut. But because warps don't care about walls, they'll just put you right inside the shortcut without having to do any sort of hard work ahead of time.
I got unlucky there. I didn't get the cool strat. I landed instantly both times.
Yeah, that's okay. We've got some chances to see it later on.
Oh, you'll see it on
time
races.
Oh yes, but overall this is a very solid Desert Adventure Dragway, which is the Adventurers Egypt theme. Johnny Thunder, our boy. And that was a very good Redbeard. Circuit 1.
617.
Yeah, pretty good. So the way that LEGO Racers works is you have 6 circuits and you have a boss race at the end, which is technically Circuit 7. But we'll see all these tracks again later on, as the latter 3 circuits are just the first 3 circuits with the tracks mirrored and in reverse order. So we'll see all of that again later on. But each time you complete a circuit, you get this nice cutscene of the sad champion being like, "Dang, you got me. Here's my car." Unfortunately, it's never fast enough to, we keep the same car basically the entire run, with one exception later on. But so we don't care about their car. We keep running the same car we've built. And this is probably a good time to talk about why our car looks the way that it does. So it's basically this massive mound of bricks on top of very tall wheels and a skinny chassis. So the bricks, the more bricks you have on your car, the more weight you have, and the more weight you have, the higher your top speed is. And then real quick, you'll also notice Jamie gets a rare Mummy's Curse here. You don't often see the Mummy's Curse in speedruns because it's not benefiting you as a speed item. But what it did do was delay the CPUs.
Yeah, that's
a setup for lap 3.
Indeed, and I did get the middle right, which is nice.
Yes, so when you go through a curse, your top speed greatly decreases, and if you're a human player, your left and right inputs are swapped. It doesn't really affect the CPUs from a left and right standpoint, just they go much slower standpoint. And so now when he does this warp here, he will be ahead of a few of them and should be able to at least get ahead of Royal King here going through the shortcut.
Royal King and Atsu are behind me, so I can get all 3 white bricks.
And he wants all 3 of these white bricks because up here there is a green brick off to the side. So there are only 2 green bricks on this track, and they're both off-road. But that was overall a very good Tribal Island trail.
I'm happy with that there.
Yes, that was a very successful curse strat.
That's my own strat.
Really, yeah, really, Jamie is the only one who uses that.
It's still pretty quick.
It is pretty quick. There is a very difficult flying strat that works on the 1999 PC version much better than it works on either of the other PC version or the N64 version.
It is indeed the English flag.
Yes, it is. You nailed it. And then the other thing about this car is so the LEGO Racers has 4 pre-built character models that you can choose from when you start the game. Obviously, we want to build our own car because we know how to make it better. And this is the chassis of Joan of Cart.
It's actually really fast in this version there.
Yeah, and so for the longest time, at least on PC, it has been kind of memed as being a bad chassis. And to be fair, that might be true on PC. However, Jamie, a few weeks ago, was like, what if I try it just for fun on N64? And it turns out it's like super OP.
The lap times I was getting there, I've not been able to match some of them on any other car.
Yeah, so now Jamie runs with the Joan of Cart chassis, and you know, I am very surprised still that this is the chassis of choice on N64, given how the PC versions have been dominated by
turbochargers. Yeah.
Turbochargers, not this one.
Which is about, for me, the 3rd fastest chassis. I was using a whole second of lap to this chassis and this version. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that adds up a lot in a while.
So it's good that it was discovered, because just within the past few weeks, Jamie's brought his PVs down
a lot.
Quite a lot, just for the chassis change.
Yeah.
And here we are on to Ice Planet Pathway, which is the Ice Planet 2002 LEGO theme. Fan favorite, one of my favorites.
It's an awesome track. I love it.
Yeah, track overall is very good.
It's fun too.
Again, a lot of what you're seeing is just getting white bricks, getting green bricks, and warping to your heart's content. That is pretty much the name of the game when it comes to speedrunning LEGO Racers. Overall, yeah, it's a little bumpy. So hitboxes, what even are they? Even back in 2001, no one really knew how to make hitboxes. Back in '99 even, that's when this game came out. Hitboxes, sometimes you're like, there's not a wall there, and then you drive, and,
I made a mistake.
There's a wall there. And yeah, that's alright. It's going well. Boosting it out is sometimes still fine. Obviously, you want to be warping, but sometimes the bricks aren't where you want. Sometimes, you know, that's the other thing. So, white bricks, when they get picked up by a CPU, they do not respawn until the CPU has used an item.
That's true.
Which sometimes can be never. They'll just never show up again.
Like the next track's
really
about to potentially show us.
Yes, this could be very bad. Amazon Adventure Alley. This is RNG heavy to the maximum. The color bricks respawn after about 4 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds. But white bricks are not that. And so come lap 2 and lap 3 here, we're going to see how nasty the CPU pads are today. They're fighting in the back, so they're Kahuka's ahead, everyone else is kind of just in the back, hopefully not causing us great anguish here.
Yeah.
Come laps 2 and 3, but we're about to find
We are hoping to see Atsu at the start of lap 3.
Alright, yes, we're looking good so far. All those bricks were where we wanted them. We have our extra white, we have our white here, our green is here, and as long as one of these bricks are here, good. And then yes, when we come out of this warp here, we'll be wanting to see one CPU specifically. It's not him.
He's at the front, isn't he?
This could be an edge
there he is.
moment.
Ah.
There he is. So he's going to steal our green, replace it with a red. Jamie's going to wait for this green to respawn.
Okay.
Throw your shoes in the chat if you got him. Hopefully we beat him here.
It was red anyway.
That spit us out. Oh, that's alright. So, an unfortunate lap 3 here, but that's kind of just how
I'm gonna grapple
this
you.
track goes.
Get back here.
Yeah, try it. Walls getting in the way. That's okay.
I wanted my revenge, but it didn't work.
He had to, you had to have a bad race eventually. Overall, I think this has been going quite well.
has,
That was,
I'm
I think,
still
really the first
not complaining.
rough race.
It's a race that you also don't have backups for. There's just no backups for that.
Yeah, there are very few, like, yeah, there really aren't. Sometimes a Chu will get the green and then he'll swap it with another brick and then you can pick it up, which we should talk about. Brick contamination. If you have, let's say, a red brick in your inventory and you drive through a blue brick, where the blue brick was, you will swap in your red brick and you will obtain the blue brick. And so sometimes that's good. Sometimes there are strats where you want to manipulate the color of a brick so that a CPU does a certain action later on. This track actually has one. JB doesn't always go for it, and I'm not going to tell him to go for it. Because he didn't usually go for it and was almost never punished anyway.
That's
unfortunately had a tough bounce there and ended up contaminating a brick he wanted. So that's going to make an interesting lap 2 possibly, but overall we should be okay.
It's because I didn't get the green boost and it didn't give me the turn I wanted. That's what happened there.
Yes, this game can be very bouncy, and sometimes you'll end up going where you don't want to go, and then you're like, well, that's not where I wanted to go. And then bad things happen. But that was right there, the manipulation. He grabbed a green brick, and he swapped it. That was close again. He swapped it with a blue brick, and that is to manipulate Basil, the CPU champion of this circuit, to do something specific when he ends his lap 2, to almost guarantee a green brick where we want it to be.
Yeah, I made
so
mistakes this time, unfortunately.
That's okay. You know, unfortunately there was not a green brick where he wanted there to be a green brick. That is also the name of the game when it comes to LEGO Racers. There's a brick that you don't want where you want a different brick. That's life, right? That's like a metaphor for life.
Yep.
But luckily this time, Will's brick is there too. We had more greens than we needed. But luckily we should be able to hopefully finish out this lap 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that. Boom. We warp right here. That should spit us out right here. So that's how you want the laps to go.
28-second laps, nice. Yeah.
That is very good. And so if you notice, we're already on circuit 3. We're flying through this. We're flying through this this race here and this category. So Basil the Batlord, Fright Night's theme, but now we're moving on to
a tough track.
Pirate Skull. Yes, this is a very hard track. Pirate Skull Pass, also pirate themed. That was very good. Those were 2 good blocks, CPU blocks. So Jamie's gonna grab some white bricks. That white brick on the hill there was not easy to pick up. There are hitboxes. That's okay. An unfortunate bonk. You know, hitboxes again. What are they? A lot of invisible walls where you don't expect there to be a wall.
We'll try and get it right the next 2 laps anyway.
Yeah, it'll be okay. So we'll probably fly it out here, finish off lap 1, and then we should have most of the whites we need going into lap 2 here, which is always good. I meant to say this before, but I'm doing my own donation incentive. For every 40-second or greater lap that Jamie drives, I will donate $5. If you, there are a certain few tracks that almost guarantee 40+ second laps. But, you know, it's for a good cause. I'm here for it. I'm always down for donating to good causes. So luckily we've hit none of those so far, but the next track may have something to say about that. We'll see in a little bit here. Overall, this is an okay Pirate Skull Pass. Nothing like it could be catastrophically worse. Like at the start, if you don't beat the CPUs to the green, you kind of get cooked. That was an unfortunate side effect of flying. You don't see the flying too often, but when you do, it might look a little awkward. The cars are, I don't know, the weight determines how you're balanced, or the bricks determine how your car is balanced. That was close to 40, but we just made it.
Yeah, I didn't get anything right that time. Oh well. Yeah, I'll try and do it on the Gypsy one instead.
Yeah, so again, we'll be seeing this track one more time, mirrored, and then again in time races. The time races have a different brick layout. We'll talk about that when they come. But this is the third track of the third circuit, Adventure Temple Trail.
Ooh, nice.
This is also, that was an insane shortcut. So that shortcut is, one, it's hard to see. Two, it's hard to see when you're inside of it. And three, it's very skinny. So if you're moving fast, it's very likely you'll bonk a wall and lose most or all of your speed. So Jamie had basically a bumpless. He's slowing down here, tried to avoid that red. It's okay. That's, you know...
I have the backup strat.
We wanted to avoid it to not contaminate that green right there, because we know all the CPU pads, and none of the CPUs will drive through that specific brick to decontaminate it. Also, 42-second lap. Throw a +1 in the chat. Chat can help me out so I don't lose track. That is okay. That is $5 for a good cause. Ooh, dang, no. I guess it doesn't really matter because so Jamie didn't have the whites there, but it doesn't really matter because he's just going to decontaminate the brick up here for lap 3 strats.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Back now.
Generally. So the chassis that Jamie used to use was the Robo Racer chassis, which is very wide. It's a very wide boy.
Horrible for this track.
And horrible for this track because you essentially can't miss those bricks. There's no way to drive through them on this version of the game with that chassis. This that was an interesting oil slide, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Joan, the chassis we're using here, the Joan chassis, is skinny enough to make it through on the right, probably in the middle maybe, but definitely on the right of those bricks. And so we usually try to do that. That was insane grapple, wouldn't have mattered, so we dodged the curse, but that's another 40-second lap. +2 in the chat.
Expected here.
Go.
Honestly, expected here.
Expected. Yes, that was definitely the track we were sure of having at least one 40-second lap, if not more.
Can guarantee more of those on time race because you don't get as many boosts as well.
Yes, that'll be interesting when we get there. But now we're on to the final track of Circuit 3, Alien Rally Asteroid, which has two of my favorite themes, the Insectoids theme and the Alien theme, both from the late 90s Lego sets. This is a very fun track. This is probably a community favorite track. Yes, it's very fun to race casually. It's very fun to race in a speed run because you're. You're
fine.
So James is gonna try and get to this shield here. So there's this UFO here that flies over the track, also in a global cycle. Or not? It's not. I guess it's not really global because you can reset and it will move. But anyway, if it flies over you and you don't have a shield, it will pull you backwards. You will stop. It will stop all of your momentum. It will move you backwards. You're basically starting from zero, and that's obviously not what you want in a speed run. So we're good here. He got the shields there, which protects you from the effect of the UFO, and then we're just gonna be boosting it out here.
Want to roll again. It's hard to roll.
Slight bonk. So no white brick there. You're gonna do, let's see. Yep, so he's grabbing that one. That's not an easy turn, but if you slow down, it works a lot better. Some crazy people who run on PC do some wild turnaround strats. And,
I can't do that. It's too hard.
yeah, no, that was definitely the play. That was definitely the play there. So boom, just like that, 3 circuits down. So now we're moving into the mirrored versions of the tracks we've already played. There are some slight differences with those circuits. The CPUs drive about 5% faster.
I always wondered how much.
I've heard it's about 5. This is all hearsay
Yeah.
By people who know much more about the game than I do. But I will believe them. And then the champion of each circuit. So in this case, it's Johnny Thunder. Definitely not Indiana Jones. He prefers different power-ups than Captain Redbeard did on Circuit 1. But so yeah, here we are back at Desert Adventure Dragway. So again, we've already seen this. Jamie's going to be hopefully not getting cannonballed here.
Wobbling heads.
And we'll see.
Aggressive.
Nope.
Nice.
Doing this weird turnaround strat right into the shortcut. That was very clean. We're gonna give this a go. here again. So he almost got the DAD bounce. So this game has some weird mechanics, and I'll start with the DAD bounce, and then I'll talk about forwards, backwards. But basically, if you come out of the warp there, you hit the hill, and it bounces you into the air. And if you're not holding accelerate or brake, you bounce so quickly it doesn't detect that you've landed, and so it keeps all of your warp momentum. So again, there, unfortunately, just a little bit out of the side, and so you bounce into the wall. But if you bounce straight ahead, you will fly very quickly through that entire tunnel. And we'll likely see it in the time races. I think
it's guaranteed in the time race. You can't not get it in the time race, so you'll see it there.
Yeah, so we'll see it there. But then the other thing I mentioned, forwards, backwards. So the way that this game
3 times
determines... yeah, very good. 3 for 3, bonk. You'll love to see it. But the way that this game kind of tracks your top speed. So you have a top speed when you're just driving normally, and when you use a boost of any kind, you go above your top speed, and then you decrease, you decrease at a constant rate back to your normal top speed. But what was discovered about a year ago was that if you are above your top speed, say you used a boost, and you hold brake after you are above your top speed, you will decrease more slowly than if you were not holding brake. Which, physics, that doesn't make sense in real world physics. But as far as the game is concerned, you're trying to slow down, so it's decreasing your speed more slowly. And so if you come out of a warp, or if you're boosting really at any time, you just hold forwards and backwards while you are decelerating, and you will maintain a boost for a longer period of time. And that broke the game.
It's great strategy.
PB's, it's great strategy, but it added another layer of complexity to speedrunning this game.
Yeah.
It isn't too difficult to try, but it is very difficult to do well.
19 laps.
I myself am very bad. 19 laps, sub 20, always good. Mega Moon Marathon.
17's my best, which is ridiculous.
That is quite good. That is quite good. And now we're back to our Dark Forest Dash here. Dark Forest Dash can also have some pretty poor RNG. We'll see how it goes here.
Bonk.
Yep. So if you bonk any racer like that, it sort of just completely stops their momentum, which is good, because Johnny would be tailing us pretty much this entire lap if we hadn't bonked him there.
Yeah, frankly, he's not aggressive like Red, so he doesn't bother me really.
Yeah, no, for sure. Johnny's not.
He's a saint.
Yeah. Yes. That was a very good lap 1. Lap 2 should also be more of the same. We shouldn't be expecting any bricks to be missing, because the first white brick we get is in the shortcut here, and the CPUs will never drive through there. They're programmed to never take a shortcut.
There you go, Steve.
And our shields there get us through Ghost Boy.
It's funny.
And we don't have to
do that.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly a great strat. There's a difficult flying strat that not only do you have to control your car exceptionally well, you also have to dodge the ghost on some of the laps, which can definitely be a problem. If you're flying and he picks you up, you're likely going to end up facing backwards, and you're not going to be flying anymore, which is usually a bad time.
Oh, that's another thing to talk about, actually. You don't have to worry about contaminating the brick on lap 3 because you're not having another lap. So that's why I actually deliberately just grabbed any brick there.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, usually on lap 3.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're contaminating a brick you want later on, because it's the last lap anyway.
Yeah, just thought I'd clarify that.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was a very good DFD, and we're back to Imperial Grand Prix, the first track of the run.
Yeah.
This one is a real banger.
Oh yeah. Get used to the seaside vibes for sure, us runners.
Yeah, a lot of times you're stuck trying to get out of Redbeard, so you hear this track often. If you play the PC version, there's even some nice seagulls.
Oh my word, they get annoying after a while.
Yeah. they're not present on this version of the game. So
Yes.
you
Oh, I missed the
spared
white.
a little bit.
It's fine. There's a backup.
That's alright. Yeah, missing that white going into lap 2 is fine because this white is pretty much always there. And then that white will also be there because you picked it up lap 1. So another thing, picking up white bricks on certain laps is good and guarantees them the next lap because you hold them you hold them at least as long or long enough for the CPUs to drive past it. So when you finally do use it, they won't be able to pick it up, and it's guaranteed there for you the next lap.
Oh, that nice. It's
All right, that was very good. There's a chance that that last brick, white brick he just picked up, wouldn't be there, which would have been unfortunate because he only had 2 in the inventory, but we're fine. This is a very good IGP. Warping again here, we'll grab this white. Hopefully you don't get shot.
That's why I
Boom.
stayed to the
Alright,
side. That's why I did that.
Yeah. Had to watch the governor.
Never go in front of broadside about a sail, because you will get shot.
Oh yeah. He's just that kind of guy, you know.
Yeah, he's got the red beard behavior, basically.
Yeah, he is very similar. And just like that, we're 4 circuits in.
Sub 30.
We
Nice.
are. Yeah, that's very good. I guess I haven't been keeping track, but you probably have timer going.
I do as well.
Um,
No splits though, just the timer. I don't want to know my.
Yeah, no,
pace.
that's fine. So here's Johnny looking all sad. Johnny's car is useful in some of the time races.
Very
if you're
good.
just doing one-offs. Vincent has used it. Current world record holder on PC. So I guess I should mention, so PC and console are separate categories on the speedrun.com leaderboards. And for a long time, basically before Jamie started destroying the N64 category,
Literally.
it really looked like they were just completely different games. The world record for PC at the time, was 44-ish minutes. Right now it's a little bit under 44 minutes. And the world record before Jamie was on console was like 53 minutes. So a huge difference. Jamie's current any percent glitchless PB is under 47 minutes.
46.57.
It is literally. Yes. Yeah. So Jamie has shown that N64 really isn't. I mean, it is different than the PC versions, but it is not as different as I had believed it was.
No. PS1, on the other hand, is much different.
Yes, you should at all costs avoid the PS1 version, and at even more costs avoid the Game Boy Color version.
Oh, yes. It's not even the same game.
The Game Boy Color version, yes. I am thinking about picking it up to meme, but it is a at you taking our.
Mr. Red, sorry, I don't have to grapple him now.
Well, maybe you've got the one up here.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. So Jamie.
Get over here.
Yes, very nice grapple, saving some time. There are certain tracks that have actual grapple strats, but that was just a nice consolation for
Scorpion moment was necessary.
And
Sorry.
taking our green brick. But no, Jamie has just shown that N64, while it still may always be slower, is definitely not out of contention for being a good game.
I missed a red, so I got shot.
You got shot, but you maintained some forward momentum, which is always nice.
Indeed.
And we're able to get to that, the green brick, or the white brick in time, and then get to the green brick. All was well.
The car thought I had legs for a second there.
Oh yes.
That's actually worse than the
Sometimes you
99
start-
version too.
Yeah, really, the 2001 and the N64 versions, your car kind of stabilizes more better than on the 99 version. 99 version, you can be bouncing for days.
Yeah,
If you
it's
get
pretty
the
rough.
You get the wrong traction, or you like are bouncing down a hill, and you just
won't stop.
cannot stop.
No, it's horrible.
It's comical, but it's really bad for your.
I feel bad for Green when he's on a good pace and has it happen.
Yeah, one of the top PC runners, Green Beans 09.
Fantastic
Great guy,
one.
great runner. But I've watched him have quite a few horrible like DFD hill bounces that just don't end. They just don't quit. It can be a real mess. But luckily we didn't really have any of those here. That green was missing laps 2 and 3. Not a huge problem. just swagging on Royal King right there.
Yep, had to do it. Opportunity was presented.
Gotta put him in its place. Overall, pretty good IPP.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Onto Royal Knights Raceway, which I don't think I talked about the first time around. This is the castle theme, if you couldn't tell. Specifically, the Royal Knights castle theme, because there are like 19 different LEGO castle themes. Even at the time of this game's release, and since then there have been many more. This is specifically the Royal Knights castle theme, in case you were wondering. This is a pretty okay track. You're doing a lot of boosting, as you do on a lot of the tracks. I don't think there's anything inherently bad about this track.
The start is bad.
Part right there, grabbing those white bricks can be a pain because the pillars have a trash hitbox, as you may have suspected.
Yep.
But overall, this track really isn't too bad until you get to lap 3. A lot of these tracks aren't bad until you get to lap 3 because you catch up to the CPUs, and they're often wreaking havoc. And
thankfully, I didn't have to go for backup this time.
Yeah,
we'll short
see.
warp. There we go. Short warp.
So,
talk about it.
Jamie got what we call a short warp. So, like I said before, we don't totally understand
What
the
happens?
path you take when you are in a warp, but sometimes you'll warp much shorter than you would be expecting to. And I think it's because the game gets confused on where you are, and so he was warping when in the shortcut, which should take him almost to the start of the next castle, but instead it dropped him about, very close to where he had started the warp, which isn't how warps should work.
No, you basically used the whole warp.
Yeah, it's
rough.
It's bad. It's not good. And so some of that is just the game being confused as to where you are, and it actually travels you, backwards around the track and like out of the shortcut and across like the normal part of the track, and that's why you ended up where you ended up.
Well, no mummy strat.
So Jamie missed no mummy strat this time. We're gonna see how lap 3 fares for us. Either way, he's gonna take this shortcut here. The shortcut isn't really used on the PC version. They take a very difficult flying strat that I don't blame Jamie for not doing.
It's too hard on this version anyway.
Flying is absolute trash. And, save strats are much better than losing a ton of time.
Yeah, definitely for marathons. It just doesn't work out on N64 anyway. I've tried so many times. Yeah. No consistency.
It is, yeah. So we're just going to take normal strats here, same as you saw the first time around. So we'll see how our white bricks fare coming up here. We're missing one.
We're missing both. There.
Missing both. That means
I'm just
going swimming.
No, we're just gonna boost.
We're just gonna boost it up. That's fine. So if he was only missing one here, he would have probably driven into the water there and grabbed a white brick there. 3 white bricks in the water there. If you're missing 2, it's kind of hard to
And
you have to turn like all around. You're going backwards.
Warp doesn't even save you anything as well at that point.
Yeah, so we just boosted it out. That was fine. Slightly unfortunate TIT, and that was all because probably because no mummy strat.
Yeah.
At the start.
It doesn't always stop them, but it does help a lot.
Yeah, mummy strat isn't 100% reliable, but it does it does help most of the time. If you got the, do I have it? Hold on. Get your mummies in chat if you got them. I know some of you do. And here we are, Circuit 6. So this is the last circuit we're going to do before jumping into the time races. And we'll explain why we do that first before beating the actual game when we get there. But this is Gypsy Moth, Insectoid, Queen Overlord.
A pain for casual, for first-time casuals as well.
Yes, Gypsy likes to go fast. So Basil is her champion counterpart on the non-mirrored version of these tracks, and he likes, he goes fast sometimes, but Gypsy likes to go fast. She drives fast, she likes getting speed boosts. She will ruin your year if you let her get ahead on Pirate Skull Pass. It's not just your run or your day. Like, you will feel bad about it for a long time.
She'll end your whole
So
career.
hopefully, she'll end your whole career. She's about to end your whole career. So hopefully we don't come across any unfortunate times like that on Pirate Skull Pass. But we'll see when we get there. Right now, we're just driving Alien Rally Asteroid. We're gonna try and... Alright. So we kind of countered the UFO there by getting a speed boost. There's Sam. Sam is the ad shoe of this circuit. He kind of is just there to ruin your day as well.
Oh yes, he's aggressive, very aggressive.
Overall, nothing too catastrophic on this ARA. That was a pretty good finish.
Yeah, I'm happy with a 23 lap. That's a good lap.
Yeah, overall, very good. And now we're going to move back into Adventure Temple Trail.
Here we go again.
Again. Yeah, so again, hopping straight into this shortcut, which is very dark, hard to see, and we'll see how we fare.
Nice.
Pretty good again. That was like nicking the walls isn't
That
bad,
was a good bump.
But sometimes, yeah, if you bump hard, like going straight into a wall, you just like stop moving. That's bad. You don't want that. But overall, we've had very good ATT shortcuts. Very good. So we'll see if we can dodge the bricks here.
I was out of position.
Yeah, it's really tough there. Like, if you don't brake hard, it's not going to work out for you.
If you...
so unfortunately, we'll have to be cleansing that lap too.
Yeah, if you bounce off the wall too hard, just don't even bother. It's not worth the time, honestly.
But hey, that was a sub 40 lap, which is good for my wallet, and good for the run. Wow, missing those white bricks isn't. It's not good because we could be warping here, but instead we're just gonna boost it out.
That was some good time as well.
Loss. Yeah, that was good. A good backup. So again, we're gonna cleanse this brick here for lap 3. Hopefully, we have white bricks for it when we get there. So we just drove straight through the curse there. That was another side effect of having shields. Very good. That was a pretty good lap. Definitely also sub 40. Feeling good.
We're gonna just missed it.
That's right. We missed the green, but we also missed getting hit by the oil, which would have been bad. So we're gonna fly here. Hopefully get some whites. That's okay. Dodging that, zooming around here.
I'm gonna try and get the end of that wall.
We're gonna try and hold this. Yeah, alright. So if all the white bricks are here, this was a successful hold. If Sam doesn't shoot us.
He missed. He missed.
Oh my goodness. Straight into the ground. That is a 40-second lap on the dot. That's a plus.
Well,
plus
sorry for the what by exactly the exact time.
That was very good. It's fine. I'm not even mad.
Oh no, it's funny, honestly.
That Sam, unfortunately, or I guess Sam, fortunately for us, shot his cannonball into the ground. All right, that was a good Gypsy block, although she's still moving pretty quick.
She's not gonna get me. It's fine.
Yeah, we should be good here. Sometimes Gypsy will cut you off right there, sneak that green right out from under you, and then you're just like, well, rip my whole career.
I didn't dodge it.
Close. Yep. So that's a tough angle to come at those bricks from. Unfortunately, Jamie swapped his brick, which he didn't want to do.
No.
But that's fine. We'll just grab this one. It shouldn't make lap 2 that much more difficult. We have one fewer white brick than we'd like to have here, but overall, it should work out fine.
Hopefully.
We'll just be warping into a brick that we would like to normally carry.
I am.
Nope. We're just bonking. That's sometimes bonk life. That's just what you do. That was a good dodge. Opting to do the safe strat on the sand around the bricks. That was the best play you could have made there. That was insanely close to grabbing that yellow.
Yes. Nice recovery.
Yeah, that was a good swag move. This white brick here is missing. That can sometimes happen. Nothing too catastrophic. The CPUs are far enough ahead where we should be able to warp here and have the green, assuming we bounce into it. We missed. That's okay. Missed that white. Also fine. Nothing too bad. We should be able to hopefully fly up here if this brick hasn't been contaminated. Of course, it's there, never punished. So we'll finish out the
No
lap
40-second
fine.
laps?
Pretty good. No 40s.
It can happen
that was
on
the
this
other
track.
Yes, that was the other track I was worried about for 40-second laps, but none here, none today. This time around.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back to Night Marathon. So fun fact, although it still exists in the track, you can see it in the track viewer. There is no shortcut on this track. It is the only track without a shortcut. That was a good dodge.
Yeah.
If you have looked at the track in the level editor, you can see some bricks in places they shouldn't be because you can't get there. And
sadly, the shortcuts are so cool as well.
We're not sure why it was never implemented, but there are bricks behind walls. We know where the shortcut was supposed to be. That's okay. So Jamie doesn't do the brick manip strat there often because he just didn't do it.
I forget sometimes.
He'll not do it, and that's fine. So this will be fun to see lap 3 if the brick is there or not.
Yeah, I just forget sometimes.
I think it's more useful for Basil than for Gypsy, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, they're faster on Gypsy, so.
So far, this is going well. That green was there. Sometimes you can hold that, but we're never punished. It's there. It's looking good. No bonk, no contamination. This is a much better Night Marathon than the first time around.
I actually find this one better than the first one, for some reason.
Sometimes that's how people feel. They like the mirrored version of the track more than its regular version.
It's Dragon Warp time. Are we gonna get short warp or not?
Get your Dragon Warps in chat. So I think it's... Oh, that was a very swag ending. So what happened there, Jamie just came out of warp and hit an oil slick and spun around. Luckily, he kind of it pointed him right towards the finish line, so he just had to continue driving. But it did lose him a few seconds.
Still a sub 46 Gypsy, considering all that happened. That's not bad at all. That would still be like a 48 or a 48 any percent pace.
Yeah, so if Jamie were to do the final race right now, he would finish roughly 48 minutes, which is a little above his PB, but still a very respectable N64 run. But instead, what we're going to do now is do all of the time races.
Yep.
And that is because the cut race that plays after you beat all of the time races is shorter than the cutscene after you beat the game.
Yep, this is what makes 100% as well. This is required in 100%.
Yes, so we've beaten all the regular circuits other than the championship, which is just a single track, and so now we're doing all the time races against Veronica Voltage, who, if you've ever played Legoland, is the granddaughter of Professor Voltage in that game, which is just some silly lore, but it is canon. And so the difference between regular races and their time race counterpart are the brick layout, or is the brick layout. So most or all of the bricks on a time race are going to be green and white. You see that there's a red there because what Jamie did lap 1 was open the shortcut, which we didn't use for the regular race, but we use it here because it's faster. It gets us a white brick, so we've warped. That is the only time in this race where we don't use green. And the other cool thing about time races is that there's no RNG. Veronica is a ghost, and while she does drive through bricks to use power-ups herself, she doesn't take the brick from us because she's a ghost.
Ah, I missed it. That's hard to do.
So he missed a green there. It's kind of a weird angle coming out there, and he's just going to quit out right after he's done. So that saved his time. If you saw it there real quick, he did have a time for that track, so you don't have to wait for the track to end. You could just quit out and move straight on to the next one. So now we're on to Dark Forest Dash, time race.
That green is ridiculous. I'm not surprised I missed it.
Yeah, it's tough because you're boosting, you're turning tightly. You can also gain air and fly over the brick, which is kind of what just happened there. This overall time races overall are pretty chill, again because no RNG, although sometimes the strats you have to use are pretty wild. I don't think DFD is too bad, because we're gonna come out of warp here. Yeah, just kind of fly over that brick. We don't really need it. It's fine.
That's the speed strat I was trying to do on DAD earlier. Yeah. That demonstrates it there. What happens if you do let go of your acceleration whilst you are coming out of a warp? It just keeps your speed until you land. It's really cool and really fast.
Yes, it is very fast. It is much faster than doing the forwards backwards because you're in the air and so it's not decreasing your speed at all.
Yeah, unless you accelerate, it then you would use it all. So you just let go.
Yeah. Yes, you just let go of everything. You just let the car fly.
So in this lap, we're not going to warp because it's actually found out to be slower. Because you just hold on to it for too long.
Yeah, you hold on to it for too long, and by the time you would have used it, you would warp past the finish line, and that's kind of a waste to some of the warp speed that you get. So boosting it out lap 3, that was his fastest lap, and he didn't warp at the end there. So sometimes you just got to boost it out.
This one's an interesting one, and quite a difficult one to do right as well, actually.
Yeah, and this actually, we're not going to do the strats we used on the regular race. So there's an interesting gimmick on this track where we'll see here. So Jamie's going to pick up a blue brick. Remember, blue bricks are shields. And so if we activate the shields, boom, all of a sudden this wall is flashing and we can drive right through it. And there's a green and 2 whites. And so if we come in there with a white in the inventory, boom, we're just warping. And so that is usually a backup strat on the regular races. It's faster to do fly through the colored gates and go through the shortcut that way. But for this track, because of how it's set up, you just drive behind this rock, which isn't easy. That's a tight gap. You can bonk easily. It's not a given that you get through there. But then all of a sudden you have warp right here coming out of it, and you're
it's really fast.
You're zooming. yeah, really fast. So we're just going to do that all 3 laps. It's very simple, but again, getting this white brick is not trivial. You can bonk, you can hit the brick, you can actually miss the white brick
very easily as well.
If you drive too close to the wall, and that's it. And then boom, quick menuing out of it. So during the circuit races, menuing isn't a huge part of the game, like it is in between circuits. But for this, you're menuing like 12 times in a row.
It's a difficult part of the one.
If you screw up at all, you're losing, like you join the wrong race, or you accidentally go into the build mode and you start making a racer. It can lose you a lot of time.
I can tell you how much too, because it happened to me in the earlier practice one. I lost 8 seconds for that.
Yeah, and there's a green brick that's kind of hidden down there that there's like a wall bonk strat to get it if you don't want to slow down as much. And unfortunately we bounced over it. But we should be fine laps 2 and 3 here because we have an extra white in the inventory when we get there. But yes, menuing can really like destroy your run. This is very late into the run, and this is an hour 10. Hour 15 minutes.
Now I get to show the cool strat. Here we go, right here.
So this right here, so we're gonna warp into this green, and boom, we're flying. We're going fast, and that is Jamie just letting go of any direction, any gas, accelerate, brake input, and just bouncing down the hill.
Yep.
You're going wee. If you know community member Vincent, he likes to go wee.
A lot.
And we like to go wee too. Because you want to go fast. That's how you race this game. So boom, that was very good. So just like that, all Redbeard time race is done. We're moving into the hookah circuit.
I do this one a bit differently too, actually, but it still can be quite quick.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna watch because I forget what you actually do.
There's a way to warp, but it's very hard because of the unseen white brick in the first part of the pit, so I just don't do warps.
Oh yeah, you don't warp at all. You boost and then you go into the shortcut.
Yeah, I still had a 1:15 in my PB, so it's still pretty quick.
Yeah, it's slightly slower than other strats, but it works, and it's probably more consistent and slightly easier than other strats, which
Much
sometimes
easier.
you take it. And again, especially this late into the run, you know, you're gonna be feeling bad if you screw up some hard strat that loses you more time than just doing a safer strat,
Yeah.
which is it's totally fine.
The 2 whites in that pit are quite horrible to get right, honestly.
Yeah, so if you were to go right into the cave, there's like a little pool of water, and there are 2 white bricks down there that oftentimes you'll grab to do a warp. But it's hard to see the first one, so it's very easy to miss. And if you miss it, like backing up for it and then going forward is definitely not the play. That would lose you more time than it's worth for sure. And so we're just gonna zoom right here and grab one more green and zoom, boom. Tribal Island Trail time race down.
118, that's still not bad at all.
So what you may have noticed is that these time races are only for the first 3 circuits, so non-mirrored time races.
Nice.
This is oh, he did it. There we go.
Let's go.
So oftentimes, Oftentimes, Jamie will slow down for that part because if you don't slow down and you try to do the tight,
do it the hardest way.
super slides, you will bonk a lot because you're going fast. Again, the pillars have horrible hitboxes, so that's definitely the better, safer strat again.
Yeah.
But it is much more reliable.
Swag points for trying the hardest way of doing it though.
Yeah, no, definitely. That is not easy to do.
Very difficult.
But we're out here doing it for the fans.
Hell yeah.
And then lap 3, much of the same. So this is a pretty quick time race. A lot of these are less than 80 seconds, I'd say. Definitely.
Yep.
Unless you're doing, Adventure Temple Trail.
2 minutes long, I think. It could be up to 2 minutes long.
Pirate Skull Pass. Yeah. So that was, again, pretty good. So we're going to exit out of that. Back to the time races. Menuing. Solid menuing.
That was good. I was happy with that.
So we're halfway through time races. 6 down, 6 to go. Here we are back on Ice Planet Pathway. Again, great LEGO theme. Go ahead and throw your favorite LEGO themes in the chat if you want. If you had a favorite one growing up, if you have a favorite one now.
Night Marathon.
Night Marathon. I mean, Fright Night's great LEGO theme. Unfortunately, they were discontinued before I was really old enough to buy them. So that right there. That strat right there. Jamie, he is going to contaminate a brick, unfortunately, but he did a wild turn through a gap and then boosted into 3 white bricks. Also, where he warps in regards to coming into lap 2 there, he sort of does another don't hold accelerator brake out of warp bounce into an area and then sort of just bounces into a couple walls and around the track. So he's gonna miss that one.
I wonder what happens here now.
So he's gonna immediately warp
I thought so.
this time. It almost worked. So because he was slightly farther ahead, the funny bounce warp he did on lap 2 didn't quite work
I didn't think
on
it would.
lap 3.
I was
And sometimes we're just doing things for science out here. And then this time he's just gonna grab these 3 whites and then warp immediately just to finish the race. Boom. Ice Planet Pathway. Done and done. Now we're on to Amazon Adventure Alley.
Yep. This one's a tricky start as well.
Yeah,
so I just
no
do the safe
here
method.
to ruin our day. Right there, sneaky white brick right behind the waterfall.
Yeah. You can risk if you want to go on the elevated area for a little bit of extra speed, but then you might not have the control to actually hit the white, so I just stayed on the flat bit to have control. That's what I did there.
Yeah, it's very easy to miss that white. It's in a worse spot than in the regular race. The regular race, it's easy to get because it's not right as you get inside. But you can miss it both on the left and the right, and so taking it slow like that is definitely the better, more consistent strat versus trying to maintain a bit more speed. We're gonna warp here this time around. We had an extra white in our inventory.
I didn't bonk the wall as well. That was nice.
Yeah, no bonks. Always good to see. Then we kind of boost it out, and then lap 3 is going to be more of the same.
Yep. Pretty much it is
that
the
was
same.
pretty good. Yeah, good waterfall entry. We're again just going to take this corner, grab another white warp.
Nice. That was a good bump.
No bonk.
That was actually, that was
Yeah.
a bump, but it was a good bump.
Yes. Yeah, bumps aren't always bad. If you bump on the side of your car, it's okay. If you bump on the front of your car, RIP you.
Okay, now we're on to the difficult ones, and it immediately begins difficult with the first green brick.
Yeah, they didn't mess around with some of these brick placements. So we're back here, night marathon.
Nice.
Hard left is green. All right, good snag. That's not trivial either.
That's really hard.
Because it's you can fly over it easily. There's a backup there if you miss, but it obviously loses you time. So we're just gonna build up a warp as we normally do, and we're gonna warp into this green here. We'll be spat out on the bridge. Got 3 whites right here, just how we wanted it.
Here we go.
And then
Here comes the
we'll
hard
try
bit.
this again.
I bonked, but at least I was able to
Slight-
get the green still.
Yeah, slight bonk.
Not a bad result at all.
Grab... No, good overall. And yeah, we're just gonna try and do that all 3 laps. So far, it's going very well. It sometimes you can like slip or like I don't know. I feel like I miss these white bricks, at least one of them more often.
They're
than I
quite
did.
hard to get, those white bricks, honestly.
Yeah, they're not in a straight line,
Oh.
and alright, so see there, we bounced right over it, which is fine because we have this backup here. So we grab this white, hard right into the green, back around, and we're back on track. So nothing, not much time
It's
lost.
like a
just,
second, I think, at most.
A bit. Which can be all the difference, really,
Yeah.
but...
And now we're gonna walk earlier
good
here
cut.
instead.
Yep, warp where the shadows meet, and it spits you out right there. Boom.
Oh. It was bound to happen sometime.
See, there you go. So luckily, JB wasn't quick with the A button and didn't hop into the wrong track.
Fat fingered, yeah.
So losing a second or 2 to go back to the correct race is obviously better than losing 8 or 9 seconds going into the wrong race, quitting out, going back to the menu. That was rough, but we had to get that green. That was more important than not. So
It'll be
we're
fine.
gonna slide through there, quick turn, and we're gonna grab this green and then warp, or grab this white, excuse me, and warp. Boom, good spot. So that sets us up for 1, 2, and 3 white bricks. And then in the shortcut this time around is a green brick. On the regular track, it's 2 white bricks. But we obviously need that green for the warp. So we're going to do that again here. That was a better green get. We'll slide around here right in there. Tight turns. A benefit of using this chassis, other than the fact that it is apparently the fastest one, is that it also has the tightest turning radius.
I love how it
which
turns.
helps,
It's really good.
and that helps immensely in the other categories, in the glitched categories, where you do a lot of tight U-turns. We won't get into that really now,
Yeah.
but it definitely helps if you have to make sharp turns.
Oh yeah, definitely don't use this car when it's light though. It's very impossible to drive then.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why we break up our cars
Overall,
as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, if your car doesn't look like a Lego brick
interesting.
itself,
Exit there.
are you really even racing?
That sent me into the wall.
It seems like you exited the ramp slightly more to the left. That's the only difference I noticed. But,
That would make sense actually.
Alright. That was good though. That was a good PSP. Alright, this is another track where we'll see how the times,
Get the water out.
the lap times
Get
go.
the water out.
Oh yeah, we're ready to drop big dollars on this track.
Yes, definitely.
Good shortcut. Like some slight wall bounces, but nothing to slow us down really.
Nope, but here's our first RNG in the time race right here. With the electric.
So we Yeah, so luckily he was able to dodge the electric wand, is what it's called when you have it as an item. It's just kind of a lightning bolt that shocks you. You see it on ARA as well. We're gonna warp into this green here. That'll spit us out right here. Pretty good. Boost, grab another brick.
Yeah, you actually have to turn
Should
mid-warp
be-
for that good turn.
Oh, sub 40, let's go.
Betty.
So there we boost a little bit early. So going faster, you're actually, when you are going faster above your top speed, you are able to turn more tightly than not. And so you boost a little bit before going into the shortcut because it makes turning in there, although you're going faster in a tight space, you're able to make those turns a little bit easier.
Very tricky section, by the way, that. You will have trouble there on the first time.
Yeah, it's not. This is a hard one to learn and a hard one to do well, and a hard one to do well consistently. Like maybe
Is this
a
it?
couple times you get lucky. This is W40 for sure.
Yeah.
Close, but that's okay. I don't mind.
Uh-oh.
+4.
Mr. Right. I think it's another one.
So it was a
too.
good. That was a good shortcut. But yes, we did miss a white, so we'll see how this goes. So there is. All right, good dodges of the lightning bolt. So we're gonna drive around back to
Super
this
slides,
extra
really
white
useful
here.
here.
Yeah, super slides. So, I guess real quick, we're like an hour in, but we're going to explain one more game mechanic. So you notice when Jamie goes around corners, sometimes it looks like he's turning really tightly and you see like skid marks on the track. That is when he's either doing a power slide or a super slide.
That's a +5.
And, was that another one?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. +5, I'll take it. So, I'm going to delay the power slide super slide debate because we just selected a different car, and that was on purpose. This is no mistake. This is Robo Racer chassis, the wide boy, and so Jamie uses this on this time race only because it goes super fast coming out of warps, and because as you'll see in just a minute, it has almost no vertical hitbox, which makes it very good for that section right there.
Look at
There's
that speed.
a zapper going around and around. Yes, very fast coming out of the warp. That is again the forwards, backwards, but this car just is zooming out.
It's about to get a whole lot faster right now as well.
Yeah, so we're about to warp right here. And we're zooming. That is... Are you holding nothing coming out of warp?
Yeah.
Bounce?
Yeah, I'm holding nothing.
Yes. So he's doing... Oh, that's so fast. So he was holding nothing coming out of the warp, and then as he hit the ground more, he was again doing forwards, backwards. So here, if we can beat the UFO...
No. That's fine.
Oh, so
It's
close.
not the worst because they're going fast anyway.
Yeah. But again, so right here, this zapper section, his hitbox is so short, it doesn't...
Didn't get hit again.
Almost never hits...
I haven't been hit
Yeah,
in
that
so
was
many
very
ones
good.
now. I love this setup for this track.
And so just like that's all our time races. We are done. We have one short cutscene here before we do the final race. So there's Veronica being sad. But then she's like, just kidding, I'm happy, you can have my car.
Time for Rocket Racer, the final part of the one.
Time for Rocket Racer. Here we go. This is the... And then we're going to switch back to our regular car. So, time for this run will be at the end of this race, when we cross the finish line on lap 3.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Hopefully we have a good start.
We don't.
We don't have...
Nice, actually.
We don't have a bad start.
He didn't shoot me. I was thinking the Admiral was about to shoot me there, but he didn't actually shoot me. So we're good.
Nope, we're good. So that was a good start. So we're doing pretty okay. We're gonna boost. There are a ton of green bricks and white bricks.
I don't go for
on
that
this
one.
track.
I don't like blue boost coming out of here. It's too hard to control.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So Rocket Racer himself, he loves to warp. So do pretty much all of the other CPUs on this track. They will all warp if they have that in their inventory. And if you have a bad start to this track, it can be kind of scary if you get behind.
Nice.
To get ahead, but we're having a great race so far, and now we're gonna wait for this green. And we're gonna hold it just in case. This is also not too bad because we don't want to get too ahead of the CPUs too quickly. But now it's fun time. Now we'll see if anyone's gonna hit us with rockets.
Oh, there's a mummy as well. Potentially a mummy here.
Yeah, there could be a mummy's
We
curse
good, we
there,
good,
but
here we
all
go.
we're just gonna do.
But time's coming up now.
This is time. Time basically
Time.
now.
108.21. Still a good one for all that happened this one.
That is a very respectable.
And that was a
time.
sick rocket racer. That looked good.
Yes, congrats, Jamie. That was very good.
I hope you all enjoyed the one,
Very
guys.
nice. That was a fantastic run.
Thank you.
Thank you, Izzy.
Where can people find you too if they want to see more?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Jamieboi1989, which is full of Lego Racers ILs, by the way. And also on Twitch, Jamieboi1989. I stream quite often lately at this game. I'm going for 106 in this category actually, so I'm gonna try and get it still.
Yeah, and I don't really stream, but I have some YouTube videos. Grill with 2 eyes. You can find me on YouTube as well. I mostly do Lego Stunt Rally, but I have some old tasses of this game as well.
Yeah. Thank you for the
Awesome.
commentary.
Thank you so much. That was
so
such
much.
an amazing run. We are going to take a quick break while we get set up for the next run. So don't go away. We'll be right back.